To call 2024 CR 4456, State of Texas versus Moses Ross. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Second for the state.
Defense?
Boyd Codefendants.
And are you Moses Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is this an application for deferred adjudication or no?
Judge, we have filled out the form for deferred and for probation.
But is your agreement for deferred adjudication?
Our agreement is only for straight probation, 1/2.
So are you all opposed? Because he's saying he filled out an application for deferred.
It was not a part of our agreement.
Do y'all need to discuss that?
Well, the way I understand it is he is in favor of probation,
Yes.
right? The state is in
Mhm.
favor of probation. Which is to say that he's not in favor, or the state's not in favor of deferred, but that doesn't preclude me from requesting deferred.
No, if they are opposed to your application for deferred adjudication, then they need to check the box that they're opposed to application. Right now, I don't have,
The agreement was for no application for deferred. It was an agreement for 1/2 straight probation. At this juncture, I'm happy to just go on the record and maybe note that that's helpful in our opposition to it, but the agreement was only for 1/2 straight, given that it was a reduction to an ABI misdemeanor. And we don't really typically offer those as a matter of course for reductions.
Okay, well then scratch our application for deferred.
okay,
We'll just go straight to probation.
all right.
No problem.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family violence as a Class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bear County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the police, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family violence. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bear County Jail. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be no harmful or injurious contact with Destiny Danielle Ramos. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, the lesser included offense charge of assault, bodily injury, family violence, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right, state, have you spoken to the complainant?
We have, and on multiple occasions, Your Honor, they've made it clear their intent to not assist with the district attorney's office.
All right, court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and the review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yeah.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, I do, Judge. He is gainfully employed. He's a licensed barber. He has been on ELM, Judge, since he was released from custody back in March. And he's had no violations and no problems whatsoever in conforming his conduct to the requirements of bond conditions as well as court imposed conditions. So he's doing very well.
All right, do you have any children?
I do.
What are their ages?
She's 1.5, well, like a little over 1.5. Her birthday's in September. She'll turn 2 in September.
All right, and who's her mother?
Abigail Laurel.
All right. So the court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There should be no contact with Destiny Danielle Ramos. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 80 hours of community service restitution. Court is going to order parenting classes. Once you completed that, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive for marijuana, but I have a medical marijuana card that my probation already, like, we went through it already. She said she's what have you, yeah.
All right,
That's
there's
all.
to be regular random UAs.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you on medical marijuana?
I played sports my whole life. I fractured my back. I tore my ACL, MCL, both of them, had surgery on one of them. I'm a barber. I stand up all day. It's really bad pain.
All right, there's regular random UAs. Field visits. One time per month. For 3 months. There's to be the BIPP course. All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
But she's already on one of your PIP programs.
All right,
I just wanted to know if
have you completed it?
I'm close to it. I have a class tomorrow. I just wanted to, because I'm busy and I have my daughter Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I drop her off Wednesday in the afternoon. So me already with that one class is stressful, and I just finished school and what have you. So I already missed my 3 classes for bibs when I went back to school and graduated for the barber program.
Mhm.
So I'm already like I'm close with them. So I just want to know if there's any way that we could waive the parenting program and keep me on bibs, please.
Oh, I'm not waiving the parenting program.
No.
No. And let me just tell you why. See, sometimes people say probation is hard in this court. Deputy Laura sometimes says, what she says. And people think probation is hard. But let me explain something to you. This is why I want you to do parenting classes. You're here for a violent offense. The person who decides that she doesn't want to cooperate with the state in proceeding in this prosecution, in the police report, she says that you spit in her face. That's what she says. This is a female. Your daughter's a female. And if you really think about it, how would you feel if your daughter were with a guy and that guy spit in her face?
There's no justifications for that, but my daughter most definitely won't put her hands on someone else.
No, but here's the thing. Spitting in somebody's face, whether they put their hands on you or not, that's pretty low. And I don't think you would want somebody to spit in your daughter's face. This is what it says in here. And then it says that you got upset. You were playing video games. So that means that you have time. She said you were playing video games. You started getting upset, cursing and yelling. So she just wanted to avoid conflict. These are what y'all stipulated to. And it says that she went into her bedroom, the master bedroom, and locked the door. And then she wakes up, you mount her on the bed, start calling her the B word, choking her and slapping her. And it says that she yelled for you to get out of the apartment and to leave because she was going to call the police. And then it says that you spit in her face, cussed at her some more, then left the apartment in a black Mercedes. Those are the stipulations. So that is why I'm ordering parenting classes, because people do not understand that when you are in a toxic relationship, wherever you learned how to be in a relationship, I don't know if people learn it from their parents. Maybe that's the way they solve problems. I don't know. But the cycle needs to stop. And parenting classes will let you know how your anger or whatever you're doing really does impact your child. And the fact that you say, oh, I got to work, I got to do this, I got to do that. That's part of the impact of this. Now, as far as whether or not I will keep the stipulation for the BIP, the stipulation for the BIP course is going to stand in this case until I see what he has learned from the other BIP course. If he has learned nothing from that BIP course, and I think he hasn't learned anything, it's going to remain in this, because obviously he will not have learned anything. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
When will that be?
Oh, whenever he completes it.
Okay.
I could talk right.
Sure.
Is when I just signed the paper, they just said that the evidence was like not correct or not like,
Not
what,
contested.
not, so.
Oh, no,
there's-
here's the thing, a no contest plea, you know what that means? A no contest plea is saying, in layman's term, I'm not saying I did it. I'm not saying I didn't do it. I'm just not going to fight the charges against me. A judge can still find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Usually clients plead no contest, and the reason why they plead no contest is normally because maybe there's a civil issue that they see coming up, or maybe they have a custody issue, or for DWI cases, they're being sued civilly. And then when you're sued civilly, if you enter a no contest plea on the criminal side, then they will have to prove the causation. But if you were to plead guilty, all they need to do on the civil side is take the guilty plea over there. And then in some cases, the only issue is how much money you're going to end up owing.
Is there any way I could say like my ends? But I'm not trying to argue with you like by any means. It's just something that I just feel like I would want to explain myself. If there's a,
Also, when we negotiated the plea bargain, Judge, it was for no vicious or injurious contact, because these folks still have contact.
Oh, here's the thing, that relationship is over. It's not
I
working.
don't-
And let me just tell you why. Number one, you're standing before me and telling me, well, she hit me first.
no, that's not what I'm trying to say. That's
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. If I could,
she's saying that you spit in her face.
and okay,
And your response to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm gonna give you a chance to talk. But when I said, she said, you spit in her face, and I said, how would you feel if somebody were to spit in your daughter's face? And you said your daughter wouldn't be putting her hands on anybody. Isn't that what you said?
yeah,
All right, so that's telling me that you're saying that maybe you spit in her face because she put her hands on you. Either way, it's a toxic relationship and y'all shouldn't be together. Y'all don't have any children together? Do y'all have any property together?
no, I don't want to be with her. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. I
Okay.
don't want to be with her by any means.
Okay.
She's done enough, trust me.
Okay.
I touch the fire one time, I get burned, I don't touch it again. I'm pretty smart when it comes to that.
Okay.
So, no, when it comes to the spitting in the face is after everything that happened, everything you said most definitely did not happen. But with the reason why I did do that is because she laughed at me because she was hitting me the whole house. I'm packing my clothes, I'm packing my barber stuff, packing the game system that I was about to play, it's packing all that. So during that time, she's hitting me the whole time. I have scratches on my face, there's pictures of that. She's punching me in the back of the head. I get dizzy and she's getting stuff out of my barber stuff. She went to go throw that away or hide it. I don't know what she did with it. During all this, she knows what I'm really fighting as well. She already knows I've known her since I was 15 years old. I'm 25. She already knows everything that I was going through with my probation and my current charges or what have you. She laughed in my face after she got done beating me and said, "It's gonna be real funny when you go back to jail after I call the cops." And she laughs and goes to her room, and that's when I spit on her. Regardless, it was not right, but I did not put my hands on her one time, not choked her, nothing like that. I was getting all my belongings out of her apartment, get into my car. I didn't even have time to call the cops. So I'm super smart. I'm beyond smart, and it's kind of embarrassing to even be in this situation with the ankle monitor on my ankle. So, with me mounting her and cussing at her and choking on her, most definitely did not happen. I just and thank you for me even taking the plea that you gave me, or the opportunity you gave me for this year's probation. I appreciate it. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest because I just feel like what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and I most definitely didn't do that. And I've been in your court before, and I took my charges when I needed to take my charges. So, and I most definitely didn't speak my piece on it because I know I was wrong. This one I most definitely feel way different on.
All right, so what are you saying? You want a jury trial?
No, I don't. I'm just want to get. It goes back to the parenting and like the spin in the face and that reasoning. I just wanted to explain it more.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
My monitor. Could I take my monitor off, please? Could I take the monitor off?
Six. All right, state why you're opposed.
You just signed up for a term of probation. I think if circumstances were different, they wouldn't have gotten the plea they got in the first place. So that's why we're opposed.
All right, so how long has he been on the monitor?
Since March.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. State, you have contact with the complainant?
Yeah, we have their contact information, yes.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep you on the monitor until July 1st. State, that'll give you time to reach out to the complainant and let her know that he's on probation and that the court is considering removing the monitor on July 1st. All right,
Yes, Judge, yeah, I'm texting.
and let the
her.
complainant know he's to have no contact with her. And I would hope that she would not have contact with him. They don't have any property together. They don't have any children together. They don't have any loans together. So she should not be contacting him. All right,
I said one more thing. I've been in court since 8 this morning. I usually charge it in the mornings. I think it died. I think it died when I was here at court.
Well, in fact, I
Now-
know it died because they've been calling my office looking for him.
all right. Well, probation will let them know it died here while we were awaiting for parties to appear. So I'll email pretrial services. I'll find out who his pretrial services officer is. And I'll let them know that he's still on the monitor. And that it died while we were waiting for parties to appear.
And then I could go June 1st to get it to July 1st.
July 1st, you come back to this courtroom and probation is going to give me an update and let me know if everything is okay. And if everything is okay, yes. Oh, no, I wasn't going to put him on the monitor with probation. I'll just let him keep this.
Okay.
Yes. And what I'll do is if there's no objection, I'll contact his pretrial service officer and ask them if there have been any issues with his monitor. And then you can give me an update with the BIPP. All right, is there anything else he needs, probation?
No.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, state.
This is one we talked about. We corresponded about, yes, we already said that we had reached out to the community.
Yes. All right, so Mr. Ross, my understanding from probation and through probation's conversation with the state is that they were unable to reach the complainant. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we can go on the record and state, you can put on the record the attempts you made to contact the complainant if you so choose. Court is calling 2023 CR 3543 and 2024 CR 4456, State of Texas versus Moses Ross for the state.
Alan Jackson.
And we have probation officer, Miss Abrams. And are you Mr. Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you are on GPS. The court did not want the GPS removed until there were attempts made to contact the complainant to let the complainant know that the GPS would be removed in state. What is the update?
Marina Winter has made 2 different attempts, including leaving a voicemail, in an attempt to reach out to the victim and let them know we have received no contact back.
All right, so Mr. Ross, I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. You are not to have contact whatsoever with the complainant. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have contact with the complainant, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke will be filed. If the motion appears to be in legal format, I'm going to sign off on it. And then once I sign off it, a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. You're either going to make bond or you're not going to make bond. And then we'll have a hearing on the allegations of no contact, if that's what the allegations are. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So is there anything you do not understand about the words no contact?
No, ma'am.
All right, so don't call her, don't write her, don't apologize, don't say I've worked on myself, let's get back together. None of that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, before we get started, I just wanted to tell you something based on what you just said earlier. On the cruise ship thing. When I was 10 years old, we were moving up to Alaska. So on a cruise ship, we stopped at this port. They said, hey, you and your dad have to be back by 2.
Mhm.
We're going to raise the plank. We came running back at 1:45. They were raising it up.
Oh, my God.
We waved at him, he's in the military, we gotta get there, so they lowered it back down and took us, but we almost got left
Oh,
behind.
my gosh. See, that's what I'm talking about.
And recently I read another story where all these people, Princess Cruise got left behind on some island.
See, and when I get off a boat, I just want to enjoy, my time. I don't want to be rushed. So, yeah. All right. The court is calling 2024 CR 3101B, State of Texas versus Rebecca Jean Alvarez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
William Davidson.
And are you Miss Alvarez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it's the court's understanding a PSI was not done in this case, correct?
Correct.
All right. Any witnesses from the state or defense? Any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor, Christina Villarreal, who is her girlfriend.
All right. Christina Villarreal, if you'll come forward. All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and I can hear.
Fine.
All right, state your name for the record.
Christina Villarreal.
All right, defense.
Yes, Christina, can you please tell me your relationship to Rebecca?
She's my girlfriend.
And how long have you known her?
About 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And if this judge sees fit to put her on deferred adjudication probation, will you help her get to any appointment she has to get to?
Yes, I will. I have a car, so there's no need to reason why she can't be able to get anywhere or do anything that you request.
And are you aware she's had a heroin problem?
Yes, I'm aware.
Do you have a drug problem?
No, I don't have a drug problem, never been in jail.
Okay. And would you tolerate her using drugs in your house or in your premises?
No,
Okay. And do you think she may be a good candidate for probation?
yeah, she's a good person. She has a good heart. She can work. She should be good for it.
Okay. Is there anything else you want this judge to know that might help her make a decision on this matter?
Just if you grant her the probation that she'll comply with everything that you do. Like I said, there's no reason why she shouldn't be able to have a car, have everything she needs. I got it.
Pass it, miss.
No questions?
Yeah, where did you meet, Ms. Alvarez?
She's a friend of mine,
Where did you,
just around the way. We know similar people.
like, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
About 5.
Did y'all meet in a store? Did y'all meet,
Yeah, prior I used to work at 7-Eleven, so came into my store.
have you ever been to prison?
No, I haven't. I've never been in jail either.
She's been to prison.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she was convicted of robbery.
It's okay. That has nothing to do. Her past has nothing to do with me. It's the present.
My question was that you're aware of that.
I'm aware.
And when did you meet her? What year?
I'm not quite sure. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. If you want to come back then,
2020 or 2019?
if you want to believe so, yeah. I mean, I don't remember. It's been a while.
Okay, well, you said 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5.
It's 2004, 24.
Yeah.
Minus 4 years is 2020.
I mean, if you want to say so. But like I said, I know 4 or 5 years. I mean, going back doesn't really mean anything.
Only one person can talk at a time to the court reporter. Okay?
Sorry.
All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to listen to the questions that are being asked of you
Mhm.
and answer the questions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, you may continue.
Thank you, Judge. I'm just asking you these questions so we get a full rounded picture of your relationship with her, because you're saying that you're gonna be there for her and
Yes.
help her. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
And when she picked up these cases for possession of drugs, you were dating her.
Yes, I was thorough.
And then in February of this year, 2024, you're also dating her. Of the robbery. Is that correct?
Yes.
No further question, John.
I'm finished with this witness, Your Honor.
All right, I have a few questions if there are no objections. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how long have you been in a relationship with her?
Like about, I mean, just recently, like about 2 or 3 months.
All right. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Does she have children?
No, she doesn't.
All right. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you. Kristen, help us. My next witness is my client, Your Honor.
All right, if you come forward. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you're gonna have to keep your voice up so that so that I can hear and so that the court reporter can hear. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Rebecca Jean Harvest.
All right, defense.
Rebecca, please understand, only one person can talk with the court reporter. And so it's a little bit awkward as far as the normal conversation, but please remember that. Can you please tell the judge about what your drug problem has been?
Been addicted to heroin. I've been struggling with this addiction for the last 3.5 years.
And since you have been locked up, how long have you been locked up?
Since February 2nd.
And have you had access to heroin in the jail?
No, sir.
And are you clean now?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any more desire to use heroin?
No, sir.
Now, if this judge did put you on deferred probation, would you abide by all the terms, including any type of drug treatment that may be recommended?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you need drug treatment?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you get out, do you have a place to stay?
Yes, sir.
Where?
My sisters or at Christina's.
You speak up so she can hear you.
My sister Ruby's or Christina's.
And would you be able to get a job again?
Yes, sir. With my my former, I used to work at Blue Star Brewery and he's willing to give me another shot.
Blue Star Brewery?
Yes, sir.
And what do they do there?
It's a brewery. I was a dishwasher there.
You don't have access to any drinking there, do you?
No, I don't drink.
And are you asking this judge to give you deferred probation?
Yes, sir, I am.
And you're gonna abide by the terms and conditions of thereof?
Yes, sir.
And this is a first degree felony, even with the waiver of the repeater. So do you understand the range of punishment if you were to get revoked?
Yes, sir.
And what is the lower range?
5,
And what's the upper range?
18.
No.
Oh,
If you get revoked, the upper range on a first degree felony is
99, right?
correct. You don't want to come back here, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, pass the witness.
State.
Yes, on the day, February 2nd, 2024, what were you and your friend doing?
We went to JCPenney's and I was trying to make ends for my drug habit.
Okay, so y'all were stealing from there?
Uh,
The knife was pulled on the employees there?
Yes, sir.
Y'all were stopped under a bridge by
Yes,
the
sir.
officers?
Yes, sir.
And you were convicted of robbery, and spent 8 years in TDC, is that correct?
For my past, yes.
Thank you, no further question, Joe.
Just wanted to follow up on that. At that store, did you personally take anything out?
No, sir.
What did you do with the merchandise when you,
I emptied my backpack and threw the items inside the store. I never left the store with it.
okay, but you were with someone who did leave the store with it,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right, which is probably why you're here today.
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as in the store, was any knife pulled in the store?
No, sir.
What was the purpose of the knife being pulled outside of the store?
He was pushing on her. He's a male. I mean, she's a female. He didn't identify himself. He didn't say he was loss prevention. I mean, after he said he was going to tackle her, I felt the need to step in and I pulled out a pocket knife.
Did you cut anybody?
No, sir.
Okay. That's what it's.
He didn't identify himself,
No, he didn't.
so he just ran up to you
Yes.
and grabbed you
He put his hands on her.
on her,
Yes.
and so you pulled out a knife.
Not till after he threatened to tackle her and we were already out the store. And I already had opened my backpack and gave him the items. Like, I never left the store with any items.
And you did, but your friend did, that you pulled the knife out for the detector, right?
Yes, sir.
So you knew who the person was coming to stop you.
That didn't happen until after he didn't identify himself. He went to go push on her.
Did you or did you not know who the person came to stop y'all from stealing Tiffany's things?
Once I put the knife out, I guess, yes.
Okay, no further questions.
I don't have any more questions, John, but if you do, have no objections. You were asking for deferred,
Oh, just one moment.
sorry.
All right, I'm reading the stipulations and it states Rebecca observed Damien following her. So she told him she was not stealing anything. Rebecca removed items from her backpack and walked out the exit door. So the person who was following you all was Damien. And in the stipulations, it says you observed him following you and you told him, you actually spoke to the person. So the person who came running after you and the friend that you were with is the same person who you said, I'm not stealing anything. So are you still saying that you didn't know that this person worked security or was an employee of the store?
I don't recall telling him any of that.
Okay. And what is your relationship to Rebecca? I'm sorry. Yeah. What is your relationship to, just one moment. Who is this? We always have people who want to be attorneys. All right. What is your relationship to Corien Valent?
None. She's an ex.
All right. So that's your ex-girlfriend that you were with?
Yeah.
All right. And so while you were with her, I'm not trying to start any trouble, but while you were with her, were you still with the person who came to testify on your behalf? Because her timeline of dating you is during this incident.
Corinne was an ex. We weren't in a current relationship.
Okay. All right. I always just have questions. Okay. All right. Any other witnesses from either side?
Nothing comes to state,
Oh, yeah.
All right. The court will hear argument. State.
State's asking for 18 years.
I'm sorry. You said you're asking for 18 years. There's only one case, correct?
There should be two cases going on for.
All right. Let me see.
I thought it was one case and I
Oh,
thought
sorry.
Yes, I only have one.
the enhancement was waived. No, not waived, but
Oh, sorry. He gave me two cases.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So there's only one.
18, yes, sorry, I apologize.
Another case, my fault. It's another case.
No problem.
Your Honor, I gave you those were for the other one.
I'm sorry.
I didn't read the name on the file.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Defense state is requesting 18.
Your Honor, we are requesting some type of deferred, obviously it can only be up to 10 years for deferred that actually takes place. My client is willing to do whatever she has to do to comply with the terms and conditions of probation. She does have a support system that we're here, and she is willing to go to any kind of drug treatment that's recommended or required. And she knows that if she blows this, she's looking at possible 99 years of, you know, not that that's always given, but she could get a long time on this thing. She did not take anything out of the store. However, she was with someone who did. And she apparently pulled a knife, and what she says is a defense of this other person outside the store. My client at that time was homeless, living under a bridge, which is, I think, where they arrested her. So we are asking for deferred.
All right. So, Ms. Alvarez, I want you to know that I understand that any time that somebody does in custody, it's a lot of time. I remember when I was a defense attorney, you would have some prosecutors saying, oh, a person can do that time standing on their head. And you know, I always tell that prosecutor, have you ever done time? Because if you have not, you can't tell me that somebody can do time standing on their head. But both you all have talked about your prior, which is a robbery. So a robbery, the difference between that and aggravated robbery is there's not a weapon. And so you've gone from committing a robbery that you went to prison for to now it's aggravated robbery. And I don't know why people who are in the wrong feel the need to pull weapons. I mean, both you, from what I read in the stipulations, both you and the person, your ex that you were with, you all were stealing from JCPenney at North Star. And this person is just trying to do their job. I don't know if he receives a bonus from stopping theft or not, but he's just trying to do his job. And ladies, you can't start a fight hitting on somebody. Should a guy hit a lady back? Absolutely not. But you can't fight a guy and then say, oh, don't hit me, I'm a lady. You can't steal from JCPenney at North Star and then say, oh, don't chase me, don't grab me and bring me back to the store because I'm a lady. You understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Court is going to sentence you to 18 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Corien, Corien, Valent, Valent. There's to be no contact with North Star Mall. And there can be the therapeutic community. If you have a drug issue, the therapeutic community does not increase the time that you're in custody. But I have no jurisdiction to force them to allow you in the program. So you'll have to request it. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you pick up another felony in Texas, depending on the level of felony it is, that's going to put you in a status as being a habitual offender. And your minimum will be 25 years. And you will not be eligible for probation. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
May I say one thing, Your Honor?
Yes.
And I'm sure the court's already aware of this. I just need to state this to make sure it's on the record. There were two counts. The first count was ag robbery. The second count was robbery.
Yes.
That doesn't change, what she did or didn't do, but the count one had been waived.
Yes, no, the count that was waived was count two.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, count two was the one that was waived.
The ag robbery was waived.
No, let me see the file.
I promise you, it was the ag
Okay.
robbery. But they did say that they kept the repeater because they wanted it to be a first degree.
No. Count two was waived and the enhancement was waived, and they proceeded on count one, and count one is the aggravated robbery. All right, thank you.
Court is calling 2024 CR 3101A, State of Texas versus Corien Blunt. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Gary, Your Honor.
Defense?
Scott McCrum for Ms. Valent.
And are you Ms. Valent?
Yes.
How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Belen.
Valent.
Yeah, the first
We're
name.
all
Sorry,
wrong.
Judge.
The whole name though.
All right, and how do you pronounce your first name?
Green.
Kareem.
Yes.
Doubly wrong. Kareem Valent.
Yes.
Okay. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're waiving the habitual and proceeding actually on the reduced charge of robbery.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Damian J. Galvan or Rebecca Jean Alvarez. Anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review what's entitled trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to start making better decisions. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.